Have you ever noticed someone's entire face change when you ask them about something they're truly passionate about? That's what we're diving into today, but specifically for one of the rarest personality types out there. If you're an INFJ or you know one, you've probably seen those magical moments when their eyes literally sparkle with joy over things that might seem totally random to everyone else. So what is it that makes these mysterious souls light up like a Christmas tree? Stick around because we're about to uncover the 10 little things that instantly make INFJs feel like they're walking on sunshine. 1. Deep, meaningful conversations that go beyond small talk. Oh boy, here's the big one. If you really want to see an INFJ come alive, skip the weather chat and dive straight into the deep end. Ask them about their thoughts on life, their dreams, what they think happens after we die, or their philosophy on human connection. Watch what happens next. Small talk? That's like torture for most INFJs. They'll do it because they're polite and they understand social norms, but inside, they're dying a little. It's not that they're being snobs or anything like that. It's just that their brains are wired for depth, not surface-level chit-chat. When someone actually wants to explore the bigger questions with them, something magical happens. Their whole body language changes. They lean in, their eyes get brighter, and they start speaking with this passion that wasn't there before. They'll share insights that'll blow your mind, connecting dots between ideas you never even thought to put together. These conversations can go on for hours, and INFJs won't even notice the time passing. They're finally in their element, exploring ideas and emotions and philosophies with someone who actually cares. It's like watching a flower bloom in fast forward. The energy shift is real, and it's beautiful to witness. The best part? They'll remember that conversation forever. You've just given them a gift that keeps on giving, a mental treasure they'll revisit again and again, especially on days when they feel disconnected from the world around them. 2. When someone truly sees and understands them. This one's huge. INFJs spend so much of their lives understanding other people, reading between the lines, picking up on unspoken emotions, and adapting to make others comfortable. But when someone actually takes the time to understand them, game changer. Most people see the surface version of an INFJ, the calm, put-together person who seems to have it all figured out. But underneath that exterior is a complex inner world filled with intense emotions, deep thoughts, and a longing to be truly known. When someone actually makes the effort to see past the mask, INFJs feel like they can finally breathe. It's not about someone reading their mind or anything supernatural like that. It's about someone noticing the little things. Like when they're quieter than usual and someone asks, "Hey, are you okay?" And I mean really okay. Or when someone says, "I know you said you're fine, but I can tell something's bothering you." That moment of being seen, really seen without having to explain themselves, that's gold to an INFJ. Their face will soften. Maybe they'll get a little teary-eyed, and you'll see this look of relief wash over them. It's like they've been holding their breath underwater and someone finally pulled them up for air. The thing is, INFJs don't ask for this. They won't demand to be understood. But when it happens naturally, when someone makes that effort without being prompted, it means the world to them. It's one of those things that can strengthen a relationship for life. 3. Acts of thoughtfulness that show someone was really listening. INFJs notice everything about the people they care about. They remember your coffee order, your favorite book, that random comment you made about loving sunflowers 3 months ago. So when someone does the same for them, their hearts practically explode with happiness. We're not talking about expensive gifts or grand gestures here. Nope, it's the little stuff that hits different. Like when someone brings them their favorite snack without being asked. Or when a friend texts them an article about something they mentioned being interested in. Or when someone says, "Hey, I saw this and thought of you." These small acts of thoughtfulness prove something that INFJs desperately need to believe, that they matter, that they're valued, and that someone was actually paying attention. Because let's be real, INFJs give so much of themselves to others that they sometimes wonder if anyone notices them the same way. Picture this: an INFJ mentions just once, that they love a particular type of tea. A few weeks later, someone gifts them that exact tea. The INFJ's reaction? Pure joy. Not because of the tea itself, but because it means someone was listening. Someone cared enough to remember. Someone thought of them when they weren't even in the room. That's the stuff that makes INFJs light up. It's validation that their presence in someone's life actually means something. And in a world where they often feel misunderstood or overlooked, these moments are like little rays of sunshine breaking through the clouds. 4. Time spent in nature and beautiful, peaceful environments. There's something about INFJs and nature that just clicks. Take an INFJ to a quiet forest, a peaceful beach, or a mountain overlook, and you'll literally see them transform. Their shoulders drop, their breathing deepens, and this calm, genuine smile appears on their face. INFJs are highly sensitive to their environments. Loud, chaotic, overwhelming places can drain them faster than a phone on 1% battery. But put them in nature and it's like they're recharging in real time. The natural world doesn't demand anything from them. It doesn't need them to perform or adapt or read the room. It just is, and that's incredibly soothing. They'll notice things other people miss. The way the light filters through the leaves, the sound of wind moving through grass, the pattern of ripples on water. These details aren't just nice to them, they're meaningful. They see beauty and connection in these natural patterns, and it feeds their soul in a way that's hard to explain. A simple walk in the park can lift an INFJ's mood for days. A weekend camping trip? That's like hitting the reset button on their entire emotional system. They come back feeling centered, inspired, and ready to face the world again. And here's something interesting: INFJs often do their best thinking in nature. Something about the peace and beauty unlocks their creativity and helps them process their complex emotions. So if you know an INFJ who seems stressed or overwhelmed, suggesting a nature walk might be the best thing you can do for them. 5. Creative expression and artistic pursuits. INFJs have these rich, vivid inner worlds that are just bursting with ideas, emotions, and visions. Creative expression isn't just a hobby for them, it's a necessity. It's how they make sense of everything swirling around in their heads and hearts. Whether it's writing, painting, music, photography, or any other artistic outlet, when INFJs are creating, they're in flow state. You'll see them get lost in their work for hours, completely absorbed, with this peaceful, focused expression on their face. Time becomes irrelevant. The outside world fades away. It's just them and their creation. What makes them light up specifically? When they can express something they've been feeling but couldn't put into words. When they capture an emotion or an idea perfectly. When they create something that feels authentic and true to who they are. That's when you'll see pure satisfaction on their face. And oh man, when someone appreciates their creative work, when someone gets what they were trying to express, that's like hitting the jackpot. INFJs don't create for praise or recognition, but when their art genuinely moves someone or helps someone feel less alone, it validates the deepest parts of them. Creative pursuits also give INFJs a way to process their intense emotions without having to explain them to anyone. They can pour their feelings into a painting, a story, a song, and feel lighter afterward. It's therapeutic, cathartic, and absolutely essential for their well-being. 6. Making a real difference in someone's life. This is where INFJs truly shine, and it's probably the thing that brings them the most profound joy. When they help someone really help them and see the positive impact of their efforts, that's when they feel most aligned with their purpose. INFJs aren't motivated by money, status, or recognition. They're motivated by meaning and connection. They want to know that their life matters, that they're making the world a little bit better, that they're not just taking up space. So when they can actually see the difference they've made in someone's life, it fills them with this deep sense of fulfillment. It doesn't have to be something huge. Maybe they listen to a friend going through a hard time and that friend later says, "Thank you, that conversation really helped me." Or maybe they volunteered somewhere and saw firsthand how their efforts improved someone's day. Or maybe they gave advice that actually changed someone's perspective for the better. When INFJs receive genuine thanks or see the real impact of their care and effort, their faces just glow. There's this quiet pride, this sense of, yes, this is why I'm here. This is what I'm meant to do. It's not an ego thing. It's a soul thing. The flip side, when INFJs feel like they're not making a difference, they can get really down. They need to feel useful, needed, and effective in their caring. So acknowledging the ways they've helped you isn't just nice. It's actually essential for their emotional health. 7. Authentic, genuine people who don't play games. INFJs have this incredible BS detector. They can spot fake people from a mile away, and it drains them. But authentic, genuine people who are comfortable in their own skin, those people make INFJs light up like nothing else. When an INFJ meets someone who's real, someone who admits their flaws, shares their honest thoughts, doesn't pretend to be someone they're not, it's like finding water in the desert. Finally, someone they can trust. Someone who doesn't require them to decode hidden meanings or navigate weird social games. You'll see an INFJ relax around authentic people. Their guard comes down. They laugh more easily. They share more openly. They don't have to expend energy trying to figure out what's really going on beneath the surface because what you see is what you get. Authenticity creates safety, and INFJs need to feel safe before they can really open up. When they find people who value honesty and vulnerability as much as they do, it's like finding their tribe. These are the relationships where INFJs can be their full, weird, wonderful selves without fear of judgment. And here's the thing, INFJs are authentic to their core. They might be private and they might keep parts of themselves hidden from most people, but they're not fake. They're not playing roles or putting on acts. So when they find people who operate the same way, who value realness over image, it just clicks. 8. Quiet time alone to recharge and process. Now, this might not seem like something that would make someone light up, but trust me, when an INFJ gets quality alone time after a draining period, the relief and joy are real. INFJs are introverts, and even though they're often warm and engaging with people, it costs them energy. They absorb emotions from others, they process everything deeply, and they give a lot of themselves in social interactions. So alone time isn't optional, it's essential. When an INFJ finally gets to retreat to their quiet space after being on for too long, you can literally see the tension leave their body. They might curl up with a book, listen to music, journal, or just sit in silence. And they look peaceful, content, like they're finally home. What makes them light up specifically? When people in their lives understand and respect their need for solitude without taking it personally. When they can say, I need some alone time, and the response is, of course, take all the time you need, rather than guilt or offense. During this alone time, INFJs recharge their emotional batteries, process their thoughts and feelings, and reconnect with themselves. They come back from these periods more centered, more energized, and more ready to engage with the world again. It's not about avoiding people or being antisocial. It's about maintaining their emotional and mental health so they can continue being the caring, supportive, insightful people they naturally are. And when they get that time without having to fight for it or feel guilty about it, that's pure bliss. 9. Learning new things and exploring ideas. INFJs are lifelong learners. Their brains are constantly seeking information, patterns, connections, and understanding. When they discover something new that fascinates them, they get this excited energy that's absolutely contagious. Could be anything: a documentary about space, a book about psychology, a podcast exploring philosophy, a course on a new skill they want to develop. The specific subject matters less than the feeling of growth and expansion that comes with learning. You'll recognize an INFJ in learning mode by the way they focus so intently, the questions they ask, the connections they start making between this new information and everything else they know. Their minds are working at full speed and they love it. What really makes them light up is when learning leads to deeper understanding of themselves, other people, or the world around them. INFJs are always trying to piece together the big picture of how everything works and why. Every new bit of knowledge is another piece of that puzzle. And here's something sweet: INFJs often get excited about sharing what they've learned with people they care about. If an INFJ comes to you all animated about something they just discovered, that's their way of including you in their joy. They're not trying to show off or lecture. They just want to share something meaningful with you. 10. Moments of deep connection and understanding with others. We're ending with this one because it's probably the ultimate thing that makes INFJs light up. Above everything else, what INFJs crave and cherish most is genuine, deep connection with other human beings. INFJs can feel lonely even in a crowded room if the connections are superficial. But give them just one person who really gets them, someone they can be completely real with, someone who meets them at that deep level they crave, and they'll treasure that relationship forever. These moments of connection don't have to be planned or fancy. Could be a late-night conversation where both people drop all pretenses and just share what's really on their hearts. Could be a comfortable silence with someone where words aren't even necessary. Could be that moment when you lock eyes with someone and know you're both thinking the same thing. When INFJs experience these moments, everything else fades away. All the noise, all the stress, all the things that usually weigh on them, it all becomes background. In that moment, they feel seen, understood, connected, and alive. And if you're lucky enough to be the person sharing that moment with them, you'll see their whole face light up with this beautiful, genuine happiness. These connections remind INFJs why human relationships matter so much. They prove that the effort of understanding others and being understood is worth it. They provide hope when INFJs feel disconnected or misunderstood. They're like anchors in a chaotic world, reminding INFJs that they're not alone in their depth and complexity. Bringing it all together, the common thread. So we've covered 10 things that make INFJs light up, but have you noticed the common thread running through all of them? It's authenticity, depth, and meaning. INFJs aren't interested in surface-level anything. They want real conversations, real connections, real experiences that actually mean something. They're not impressed by flashy displays or expensive gifts. They're moved by thoughtfulness, sincerity, and genuine care. They don't need grand gestures. They need consistent, meaningful presence. They don't want to be entertained. They want to be understood. Understanding what makes an INFJ light up isn't complicated, but it does require you to slow down and go deeper than you might normally go with other people. It requires you to be present, authentic, and willing to engage beyond the surface. And honestly, that's not just good advice for connecting with INFJs. That's good advice for connecting with humans in general. Why this matters for INFJs and the people who love them. If you're an INFJ reading this, hopefully you're nodding along and feeling seen. Maybe you've even realized that you're allowed to seek out these things that bring you joy. You don't have to settle for surface-level relationships or deny your need for depth and meaning. You're not asking for too much when you want authentic connection and understanding. And if you're someone who loves an INFJ, a friend, partner, family member, or colleague, understanding these things can completely transform your relationship. INFJs aren't complicated on purpose. They're not trying to be difficult or demanding. They're just wired differently, with a deep need for authenticity and meaning that drives everything they do. The beautiful thing is that when you invest in an INFJ, when you make them feel seen and valued, when you meet them at that deep level they crave, you get something incredible in return. You get a loyal friend who will remember your birthday 10 years from now. You get a partner who will work through problems with you rather than run away. You get someone who will support your dreams, challenge your growth, and love you in a way that's rare and precious. Practical ways to make the INFJs in your life light up. Let's get practical for a minute. If you want to brighten an INFJ's day, here are some concrete things you can do. Send them a message about something meaningful you discussed, showing you've been thinking about it. Ask them deep questions about their thoughts, dreams, or philosophies. Share an article, book, or podcast you think would interest them based on conversations you've had. Give them permission to take alone time without making them feel guilty. Thank them specifically for the ways they've helped you or made a difference in your life. Create space for real conversation without distractions. Respect their need for authenticity by being genuine yourself. Invite them to do something in nature or somewhere peaceful. Show interest in their creative projects or ideas. Let them know when you see and appreciate the real them beyond the social mask. None of these things cost money. They don't require elaborate planning. They just require presence, attention, and genuine care, which, ironically, are the exact things INFJs give freely to others. The challenge of being an INFJ in a fast-paced world. Here's something important to understand. Many of the things that make INFJs light up are increasingly rare in our modern world. We live in an age of quick interactions, surface-level social media connections, constant busyness and instant gratification. Deep conversations? Who has time? Quiet reflection? There's always another notification demanding attention. Authentic connection? Everyone's performing their curated version of life online. This is exhausting for INFJs. They're swimming upstream against cultural currents that value the exact opposite of what feeds their soul. They're told to network, to hustle, to optimize, to consume, to stay busy. But what they actually need is to slow down, go deep, and connect authentically. So when INFJs find those pockets of depth, authenticity, and meaning, whether it's in a person, a place, an activity, or an experience, they light up because it's like finding an oasis in the desert. It's proof that what they value isn't extinct, that there are still people and experiences that meet them where they are. A message to INFJs: your needs are valid. If you're an INFJ, hear this: your need for depth isn't a flaw. Your inability to enjoy small talk isn't a character defect. Your requirement for alone time doesn't make you antisocial. Your desire for authentic connection doesn't make you needy. Your search for meaning isn't naive or unrealistic. You're not too sensitive, too intense, too much, or too different. You're exactly who you're supposed to be, and the things that make you light up are clues to what your soul needs to thrive. Honor those needs. Seek out those experiences. Surround yourself with people who appreciate your depth rather than asking you to dim it. The world needs INFJs. We need people who see beneath the surface, who ask the important questions, who care deeply about making a real difference, who value authenticity over image, who create beauty and meaning in a world that often feels shallow and disconnected. So don't apologize for lighting up over things others might find strange or unimportant. Those moments of joy, those sparks of genuine happiness, they're your compass, pointing you toward the life you're meant to live and the connections you're meant to make. Conclusion: the beauty of the INFJ light. We've explored 10 little things that make INFJs light up inside, from deep conversations to acts of thoughtfulness, from nature's peace to creative expression, from making a difference to finding authentic connection. And while these might seem like small things to some people, for INFJs, they're everything. These moments of lighting up aren't just about happiness or pleasure. They're about alignment, when the outer world finally matches what INFJs value in their inner world. They're about connection, when INFJs feel less alone in their depth and complexity. They're about validation, when INFJs get confirmation that their way of being in the world has value. If you're an INFJ, keep seeking out these things that make you light up. They're not luxuries. They're necessities for your emotional and mental well-being. And if you love an INFJ, pay attention to these moments when their eyes sparkle and their whole being seems to glow. Those are the moments when you're seeing their true self, and that's a gift not everyone gets to see. The world can be a tough place for sensitive, deep-feeling people who refuse to skim the surface of life. But when INFJs find those moments, people, and experiences that truly resonate with their soul, they don't just light up, they shine. And that light makes everything around them a little brighter too. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive into the INFJ soul. If this resonated with you, share it with the INFJs in your life or with people who want to understand them better. And remember, we could all benefit from a little more depth, authenticity, and meaningful connection in our lives, not just INFJs. Until next time, keep seeking those moments that make you light up, whatever your personality type. Life's too short for surface-level living.